In the 21st century, power is no longer defined only by armies or borders. It is defined by ports, logistics corridors, energy pipelines, and digital infrastructure. Over the past 2 decades, the United Arab Emirates has quietly expanded its global footprint through strategic investments in maritime infrastructure, energy assets, logistics hubs, and security partnerships, particularly across Africa, the Middle East, and the South Asia. At the center of this expansion stands DP World, one of the world's largest port operators, headquartered in Dubai. Through long-term concession agreements, DP World has secured operational control or management stakes in ports stretching from Red Sea to the Atlantic coast of Africa. In the Horn of Africa, DP World signed agreements to develop and manage Berbera port in Somaliland and previously operated at Bosaso port in Puntland. Berbera sits strategically along the Gulf of Aden, a key maritime artery linking Asia to Europe via Red Sea. Control of such ports provides geopolitical leverage over trade routes passing near the Bab el-Mandab choke point. Moving north in Egypt, Emirati entities have invested in port infrastructure and logistics zone around the Suez Canal corridor, one of the most critical maritime passages in the global trade. In Algeria and Angola, agreements have focused on container terminals and logistics modernization, linking North and West Africa into global shipping networks aligned with Gulf capital. But maritime access is only one layer of the picture. Energy infrastructure has also been a major pillar of UAE foreign investment and its influential role in the region. Through companies like ADNOC and Mubadala, the UAE has acquired stakes in oil, gas, and renewable energy projects across the region. In countries such as Egypt, Morocco, Emirati-backed renewable projects are reshaping national energy grids. In Sudan and Yemen, infrastructure investments have intersected with fragile political environments, increasing the UAE's strategic footprint. In Libya and Yemen, the UAE has been widely reported by international observers as supporting particular political or military factions during the prolonged conflicts. Dubai has described its action as counterterrorism or regional stabilization efforts. Critics, however, argue that such involvement deepens fragmentation in already fragile states. These remain active in global policy circles. But beyond ports and energy lies a third layer, which is technology. Following normalization agreements in 2022, cooperation between Emirati and Israeli technology sectors expanded rapidly. This includes cybersecurity partnerships, smart surveillance systems, AI-based logistics management, and port security digitization. Modern ports today are not just cranes and containers. They are integrated digital ecosystems monitored in real time. Control over infrastructure in the 21st century does not require occupation. It requires contracts. The UAE has maintained deep economic ties with Pakistan rooted in labor, migration, remittances, and investment. In recent years, this relationship has evolved into strategic asset agreements. Emirati companies have secured operational rights and investment stakes in several major Pakistani logistics and infrastructure assets. These include long-term management agreements at Karachi Port Container Terminals through international operators affiliated with Gulf Capital and the development and operation of port facilities at Port Qasim. Additionally, the UAE has signed agreements related to airport operations, including reported interest in managing or investing in major Pakistani airports through government-to-government frameworks. These arrangements are unusual in global finance. Countries routinely lease port terminals, energy fields, and airports to foreign operators for capital and expertise. However, what makes UAE's model distinctive is its concentration of investments along key maritime corridors: the Red Sea, the Arabian Sea, the East Africa, and the parts of Mediterranean. When mapped visually, these investments from connected arc linking Africa to South Asia through Gulf control logistics node. Critics argue it centralizes leverage in the hands of a small number of powerful state-backed corporations. The reality lies somewhere in between. What is undeniable is that infrastructure today equals influence. Ports regulate trade flows, energy projects shape national dependencies, digital surveillance secure both assets and population. Modern form of power is contractual, technological, and financial. Not loud, not always visible, but deeply embedded. And as global competition intensifies between regional powers, emerging blocs, and established alliances, control of infrastructure may matter more than ever before. The question is not whether countries invest abroad. The question is how much sovereignty is retained when strategic assets are operated by external factors. In a world defined by connectivity, whoever manages the gateways often shapes the future. And in case if you're wondering why Iran is particularly targeting the assets and infrastructure of UAE, then we might get into the historical background of the state's recent foreign policy, which includes the normalization of relationship with the Israeli state.